Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. अरे तेरा माला नीचे लग रहा है हैं? हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे. हरे राम राम राम, हरे हरे. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर स्वास्ति गौर भक्तवृंद।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे 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 राम हरे हरे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, थैंक यू सो मच। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
Hare Krishna,
राम
Krishna
हरे
Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Shivasati Gaur Bhakti Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री देवी शिवा शादी गौर भक्त वृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण। हरे कृष्ण, हरे कृष्ण, कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे, हरे राम, हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण, हरे कृष्ण, कृष्ण कृष्ण, हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत प्रणाम। अभी ब्रह्म संहिता स्टार्ट करेंगे। सुनीता यादव माता जी, अनम्यूट कीजिए।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु।
हरे
प्रणाम।
कृष्णा माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। माता जी कितना है बस करेंगे?
कंप्लीट करें प्रभु जी।
हाँ, हरे कृष्णा माता जी।
ईश्वरा परमा कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादि गोविंद सब कारण कारणम चिंतामणि प्रकट सदमसु कल्पवृक्ष लक्षावितेश सुरभि विपालयन्तम लक्ष्मी सहस्त्र सतसंभ सेवमानं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि वेणुकुण्वन्तं रविन्दं दलातयाक्षं बर्हावतं संसताम्बुसुन्दराङ्गं गन्धर्वकोटिकमणिविशेषशोभं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आलोलचंद सकल कलश सद्वन्नमालवंशी रत्नागत प्रणय केली कलाविलासं श्यामं त्रिभं ललितं नियतप्रकाशं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अङ्गानि यस्य सकले दिव्यन्ति पश्यन्ति पान्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगन्ति आनन्दचिन्मया सदुज्जल विग्रहस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अद्वैतमच्युतम् अनादि अनन्तरूपम् आद्यं पुराण पुरुषं नवयौवनं च विदेषु दुर्लभम् आदुर्लभम् आत्मभक्तो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि पन्तास्तु कोटिशतवत्सरसम्प्रगम्यो वायोरथापि मनसो मुनिपुङ्गमानं सोऽप्यस्ति यत्पर्वतसीम्न्यो विचिन्त्य तत्ते गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि एकोप्यसो रचितौ जगदण्डकोटिकोटि एकोप्यसो रचितो जगदण्डकोटि यच्छक्तिरस्ति जगदण्डचया यदन्ता अण्डान्तरस्थ परमाणुचयान्तरस्थं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यद्भावभाविधियो मनुजास्तथैव सम्प्राप्तरूपमहिमा सनयानभूषा सुक्ते यमे निगमपतिते स्तुवन्ति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनन्दचिन्मया रसात्मतया प्रतिभाविताभिः आनंद चिन्मया रसा प्रतिभाविताभिस्ताभिर एव निज रूपतया कलाभिः गोलोक एव निःसृत कलात्मभूतो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि प्रेमाञ्जन श्रुतं भक्तिविलोचनेन सन्ता श्रद्धे हृदयोऽसि विलोकयन्ति यः श्यामसुन्दरम् अचिंत गुण स्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि रामादिमूर्तेषु कलानिमेन तिष्ठन् नानावतारम् अकरोद् भुवनेषु किन्तु कृष्णात् सम्भवत् परमापुमान् यो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्प्रभापवतो जगदण्डकोटिविशेष वसुधा विभूतिभिन्नं तत्ब्रह्म निष्कलम् अनन्तम् अशेषभूतं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि माया हि यस्य जगदण्ड शतानि तैगुरु तद्विषय वेति विताय माना शक्त्वावलम्बिं परम शक्तं विशुद्ध शक्तं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनंद चिन्मया रसात्मतया मनासु यः प्राणिनां प्रतिपदे स्मृतामुत्ते लीला यतेन भुवनानि जयत्यसं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि गोलोक नाम निजधामनि तले च तस्या देवी महेश हरिधाम सुते सुतेषु ते ते प्रभाव निश्चावृतांशेन गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि सृष्टि स्थिति प्रलय साधन शक्ति रेखा छाये यस्य भुवनानि विभर्ति दुर्गा इच्छानुरूपमपि यस्य च चेष्टते सा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि क्षीरं तथा दधि विकार विशेष योग संजायते नाही तथा प्रतिगस्ति हेतु यह संभुतामपि तथा समुपैति कार्याद् गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि दीपाचिरे हि दशान्तरं विपेते दीपायते विवधेतु समान धर्म यस्ताद्रिगे हि चया विष्णु विभान्ति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यः कारणां जले भजन्ति स्म योगा यः कारणां जले भजन्ति स्म योगा निद्रामनंद जगदण्ड सरोमकूपा आधार शक्ति अबलम पराशमूर्ति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यश्चे कनिष्ठचित कालं वथावलम्ब्य जगदण्ड विधान
जीवन्ति लोम विलाज
जगदण्ड विधान विभर्ति दुर्गा यश विष्णु महान यस्य कला विशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि भास्वान् यथा समस्कले से सुतेजा स्वीयं क्रियत प्रकटतया अपि तदौदत्र ब्रह्मा यस्य जगदण्ड विधान कर्ता गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यदपाद पल्लव विनिधाय कुम्भ द्वंद्वे प्रणाम संन्यासा गणाधिराजा विघ्नान् विहन्तु मलमस्य जगत्त्रयस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि गगनं गगनं
अग्निर्महि गगनम अम्बु
अग्निर्महि गगनम अमु मरुति शिष्य च कालस्तथात्म मनसीत जगत्त्रयाणि यस्माद् विभवन्ति विशन्ति यं च गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यच्चक्षुरेश सविता सकल ग्रहाणां राजा समस्त सुरमूर्ति सशेष तेजा यस्या गया ब्रह्मति संवृत्त काल चक्रो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि धर्मोत्था पापनिश्चा सूत्रयस्त्रपांसि यद्दत्र मात विभव प्रकट प्रभाव ब्रह्मादिकीर्ति पदगावधयस्य जीवा यद्यत्र मात विभव प्रकट प्रभावा गोविंदमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्तवेन्द्र गोपम अथवेन्द्र महो स्वकर्म बंधानुरूप फलभाजन्मातनोति कर्माणि निर्दहन्ति न किंतु च भक्ति भाजम गोविंदमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि यह क्रोध काम सहज प्रणयादि भीति वात्सल्य मोह गुण गौर सेव भावे गौर भावे संचिंत तस् सदृशीं तन्मा पुरेते गोविंदमादि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि श्रिया कांता कांत परम पुरुष कल परम परम पुरुष सुमहान तोयमृतम सुमहान श्रिया कांता
कल्पतरो भो।
कल्पवृक्ष कल्पवृक्ष कल्प स्त्रिया कांता कांता परमा पुरुष कल्पवृक्षो द्रुमा भूमिश्चिंतामणि गणमयी तोयमृतम कथा गान नाट्यम गमनम अपि वंशी प्रिय सखी चिदानंद ज्योति परमा परमा अपि तदा तदा स्वादम अपि च निमेषाद निमे नहीं,
सयत्र
स यत्र क्षीराब्धि स्रवति स्रवति सुरभिभयश्च च सुमहान् निमेषाधाक्यो वाव्रजति नहि यत्रापि समिया भजे श्वेतदीपं तमहमिहं भजे गोलोकमिति यं विदन्तस्ते सन्ता क्षितिविरिलचारा कतिपये हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा प्रभु।
हरे कृष्णा माता जी, धन्यवाद, प्रणाम। हरि बोल। माता जी के लिए 3 बार हरि बोल बोलिए। हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। अभी चैंटिंग शुरू करेंगे। हिमाचल प्रभु जी, हिमाचल प्रसाद प्रभु जी, अनम्यूट कीजिए। Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna जय प्रभु जी आवाज नहीं आ रही थोड़ा जोर से बोलिए हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद सिद्धार्थ गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद सिद्धार्थ गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम
हरे कृष्णा आवाज़ सुनाई दे रहे?
यस प्रभु
हरे
जी।
कृष्णा,
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, यस
हरे
प्रभु जी।
कृष्णा, ऑनलाइन में आवाज़ सुनाई दे रहे? ओके ओके।
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम,
हरे कृष्णा।
हाँ हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दानुत प्रणाम।
या
यस प्रभु जी, सुनाई दे रहे।
सभी भक्तों का आज का श्रीमद् भागवतम क्लास में स्वागत है। आज हमारा सद्भाग्य है, हमारा बीच में आज श्रीमान अभिज्ञानंद प्रभु यहाँ पर आईआईटी में कुछ क्लास लेने के लिए आया था। आज प्रभु जी के द्वारा हम भागवतम का श्रवण करने वाले हैं अभी। सो प्रभु जी के बारे में आप लोग सुना होगा, कोरोना के पहले 2019-2020 में हम कुछ प्रिडिक्शन सुन रहे थे, अभी ये होने वाला वो होने वाला। यूट्यूब में छोटा छोटा वीडियो आता था। सो ग्रहों का इस प्रकार का परिस्थितियों की वजह से ऐसा हो सकता है करके छोटा छोटा वीडियो आता था। वो अभी उस समय प्रभु जी बहुत छोटा था, फिर भी प्रभु जी का भगवान का असीमित कृपा से एस्ट्रोलॉजी के बारे में बहुत जानकारी प्राप्त किया प्रभु जी ने। इसके वजह से कुछ अच्छा प्रिडिक्शन कर पाया। सभी भारत में लोग आश्चर्यचकित हुआ था, इतना छोटा आयु में इतना कर पाया करके। अभी प्रभु जी यहाँ पर आज हमारा बीच में है, आईआईटी मंडी में आया था प्रभु जी। अगला 4 दिन से एस्ट्रोलॉजी के ऊपर क्लासेस ले रहे। आज हम प्रभु जी के द्वारा हम श्रवण करेंगे भागवतम क्लास। पहले प्रभु जी भगवद गीता का 16वें अध्याय और 17वें अध्याय से कुछ चर्चा करेंगे, और उसके बाद एस्ट्रोलॉजी के बारे में कुछ जानकारी देंगे हम सबको। हरे कृष्णा। हम हमारा ट्रेडिशनल पद्धति में प्रभु जी को स्वागत करेंगे 3 बार हरि बोल बोल के। हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा।
जय श्री कृष्ण। सर्वेभ्यो नमस्काराः। यस, सर्वेभ्यो नमस्काराः, प्रणामाश्च। Can chant the yes Mangacharanam. Hare Krishna. Just a second. Om वसुदेवसुतं देवं तं पुरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं जगद्गुरुं ध्येयः सदा सवितृमण्डलमध्यवर्ती नारायणः सरसिजासनसन्निविष्टः केयूरवान् मकरकुण्डलवान् किरीटी हारी हिरण्मयवपुर्धृतशङ्खचक्रः ॐ मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वर्षिष्ठान्तेव सदृशिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे ॐ नमः सवित्रे जगदेकचक्षुषे जगत्प्रसूतिस्थितिनाशहेतवे त्रयीमयाय त्रिगुणात्मधारिणे विरिञ्चि नारायण शङ्करात्मने ॐ Hare Krishna, and I'd just like to give a short introduction. Before that, Dandavat Pranams to everyone. I was introduced to the Bhagavad Gita at the age of 6. My parents started to introduce me to the Gita at that time, and it was primarily memorization of the Gita, which we believe is very important because it reminds you of certain verses. It comes to your mind at the exact moment when needed, and I memorized it by the age of 7. And later on, I began to study Sanskritam and studied certain parts of the Gita. I am in no manner a person eligible to teach spiritual subjects, as I'm not that advanced, but I just would like to share with you a few things from the Gita which I had learned, specifically the 16th and the 17th chapter, which I consider the guiding force for my life personally, and Lord Shri Krishna has granted us tremendous wisdom in these two chapters for a more practical purpose, alongside the last few verses of the second chapter, which you all are definitely aware of. The Kurmongani Vasarvashaha Indriyani Indriyartheshu. So Indriyani Indriyarthebhya. So, those verses are very important, but there are also a few qualities that have been described in the Gita which are very beautiful. So, in the 16th chapter, Om Shri Bhagavanuvacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti Danam Damascha Yajñascha Swadhyayastapārjavam Ahimsa Satyamakrodha Tyagashantirapayishunam Daya Bhuteshvalolupvam Mardavam Hrirachapalam Tejah Kshama Dhritishaucham Adroho Natimanita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivi Abhijatasya Bharata. Yeah, we have the verses here as well. It's a very beautiful 3 verses. We'll just go through it. The meaning is clear there in Hindi. So yeah, we translate that. Okay. We'll probably do it one shloka by one shloka, right? Okay. Cool. So Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi. So Lord Shri Krishna says that these are the Daivi gunas that person born with the Daivi Prakriti innately has. They don't need to try too much to be able to get such qualities. Every one of us has a Daivi Amsha within us. It varies a little bit based on our previous Janma inclinations, which again, since I'm very interested in Jyotisha, can be connected to the Jataka as well in a way. But everyone has the opportunity to improve on these qualities. These are not fixed. They are innate, but they're not fixed. You can improve them, you can practice and develop them. And every one of us has a certain amount of these qualities. So Abhayam is fearlessness. So when you know you're on the right side of things and you're following dharma, there should not be fear. That is what Abhaya means in this context. It does not mean that one should take abnormally dangerous risks for no reason, for no spiritual advancement and destroy oneself. It rather means one should be fearless in the direction that is on the path of dharma. Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi. So Sattva Samshuddhi is the purification of the psyche, the mind. So that is a sattva. The sattva is something that's beyond the traditional definitions and translations that we have of the body and the mind. It's more like the psyche, the inner strength. So the purification of that inner capacity, inner strength is sattva samshuddhi, and that is also a quality that Daivi Guna people would have. And it helps them purify themselves on their own, because we're living in a material world, and because of that we do get associated with certain negative gunas and qualities, but we should have the ability to purify ourselves after that. And you all chant the Bhagavad Gita and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra so frequently, so this should not be an issue, Sattva Samshuddhi. And that is the exact reason why we must keep chanting Bhagavan's Nama and the different Mahamantras that have been suggested. So, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi, being firmly placed in Jnana and Yoga. Yoga is the union with the divine, and the process to understand and realize oneself, associate with the identity of the Atman. Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi, that is knowledge of self-realization, and Bhakti, and union with the divine, basically. Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi. Danam Damaha Cha Yajñascha. Danam would basically be charity, giving whatever you can. Yatha Shakti, as much as possible in this lifetime, one must give. The Shastras have recommended a certain amount that one can give from one's hard work. This can be not just monetary, etc., but even your own effort. You can contribute, say, 10% of your day, of your time, to a certain spiritual cause, to a certain cause to uplift those who are weaker than yourself. Dana, as we learn in the 17th chapter, is also of 3 types. One cannot just go on giving to the wrong kinds of people. That would become a tamasik dana. Apatrebhyascha diyate. That would be a tamasic dana. It has to be given to the patra at the right desha, at the right kala. That's at the right place, time and person. The Shastras say that those who are most vulnerable, weak, must be donated to. Specifically those who have provided to us. They are number one in the line, those who have helped us. And in that as well, the most vulnerable and the most helpful being in the earth, especially for our country Bharata, always has been Gaumata. So doing any sort of Gau Seva is the highest form of dana. They also say Vidya Dana is the highest form of dana. So if you have certain Vidya, finding the right patra for it and giving that to that person is also considered a great dana. So Vidya Dana. And so Dana. Damaha is basically self-control. This is something that we all must develop. And as we know, from neuroscience, it's something that we can actually develop. We can practice it. It's something like a muscle, for example. You can train it. The prefrontal cortex of the brain, for example, can be trained to improve this Daivi quality. And this helps us in the longer run. Spiritually, of course, as we all know, but even materially, it can help us become better human beings. So, yajña is sacrifice. Yajña can be of many types, including as simple as having one's food in the right manner, at the right place and time. And also, of course, yajña can mean, yajña can also mean giving up something for a greater cause. Anything that you give up for a greater cause, anything that you give in sacrifice for a greater cause is yajna. Swadhyaya is basically self-study, including the Hare Krishna Mahamantra would also be a yajna, as you know, the Sankirtana yajna, and this is something that a lot of devotees since Bhagavad Pada, Srila Prabhupada ji has been, making sure that millions of years around the world get to listen to this nectarian mantra. We have the good fortune of listening to it every day as well. So that's a yajna. And there are other yajnas as well which people can do. The bare minimum is that we make sure we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and other Mahamantras like the Gayatri, etc., for those who are initiated into it. There are others we should not just stop there, and we should do more. For example, regularly doing dana, regularly giving as much as we can. Yajnaha. Swadhyayaha would be self-study of the scriptures, etc. And everyone can do this, apart from the stage that people go through, the brahmacharya stage. I think even after that, swadhyaya must continue. There should be some level of scriptural study in a day. And different acharyas have recommended scriptures to study, which is very important. Not just scriptures, swadhyaya also means constantly refreshing the mind with newer knowledge, as long as it's not harmful for your spiritual progress. For students, study of Vedangas and even other fields, including sciences and physics and everything else, would also be considered a form of swadhyaya. Tapaha is basically penance. And penance is very important. This is apart from dana, but it's basically voluntarily going through a sort of austerity to purify oneself, which is very helpful. Sometimes life makes us go through a certain sort of tapaha, which is also very helpful in the form of the destruction of our negative karma through some sort of suffering. We must voluntarily subject ourselves to a certain amount of austerity that is for a higher purpose, not just self-inflicted pain, of course. It's something that leads us to a higher purpose. And Arjavam comes from the Sanskrit word riju or rajuta, right? So straightforwardness and not being very kapata, very manipulative. So being straightforward. When asked a question, the answer should be more or less straightforward. Unless, of course, your dharma is in the field of diplomacy, where you have to be diplomatic about things. So otherwise, rajuta is very important for a sattvic, daivi person, and it's a natural quality that we all must develop. Ahimsa, satyam akrodha, tyaga shantirapaisaram. Ahimsa means the very principle of non-violence. And non-violence, first of all, also includes prevention of violence to other beings. So if you have in your power to prevent violence on an innocent being, you must protect that individual, even if it involves a certain degree of violence, which would also be, for example, dharma himsa, which is in fact the greatest form of ahimsa. When you not just refrain and stay away from violence, but you use said violence as a last resort to protect an innocent being. Similarly, ahimsa stands for basically trying to avoid harming any living being when it's not necessary, trying one's best to the best extent possible. For example, even when walking, we must, as the Shastras say, try to avoid crushing living beings as such. However, this has certain important things here. For example, you have been given the responsibility by your people to protect them from, say, a major infectious disease. You have to enact even violent means to get rid of said infectious disease from your country. That a Kshatriya has to do and cannot apply the principle of ahimsa there purely verbatim. It has to be applied in the sense of first maintaining hygiene, making sure that said city does not have an infectious problem. But if that's not possible, the next step would be dharma himsa. So similarly, ahimsa is a very misunderstood concept, and it's important to understand it properly. Ahimsa satyam, which is truthfulness, being straightforward and truthful as much as possible. For those of you who are interested in Jyotisha, this is a paramount quality, the most important quality that must be developed. Truthfulness as much as possible. Hiding things would only result in the universe hiding things from you. So if you hide things from people around you deliberately for sense gratification, then the universe and Bhagavan would hide the truth from you, not only the spiritual truth but even other things. So satyam, akrodha, which would be anger. Anger is a very self-consuming and horrifying attribute. It is one of the 3 gates to hell, as we say in the Gita. Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhava, and it's very, very powerful. It's something that if we control, we can conquer many other things in life. And so that the anger is not just absent in a Daivi person's mind. Even if anger arises, because it is dormant in everyone, they have the ability to understand that it is worthless and control that. So that's an ability we must all develop. None of us truly have it in the highest sense, but we are all at different degrees and we can develop it. Tyagaha, which is renunciation. There are different levels of Tyaga. The most basic level is getting rid of that which is harmful to oneself and others. So, for example, first of all, getting rid of something that's harmful to others. That is something that's hurting others, especially the consumption of, say, the carcasses of living beings, meat, for example. Consumption of alcohol hurts you as well as your society. And consumption of certain other things that harm you and your society, the environment around you, must be given up. That is Tyaga. The second level is giving up that which is unnecessary for your life in general and for your environment. The third level is giving up even more things that are unnecessary at an even higher stage. Just living with a bare minimum at the highest level of Tyaga eventually is getting rid of all of these material associations and leaving. Obviously, most of us are still developing, and the first stage is something that we must cross. That's a bare minimum. The second and the third stages will come through the practice of our Shastras on a regular basis, and there are many devotees we can look up to who have achieved the second and the third stages as well, and there are very few who have achieved the fourth stage of giving up even that self-identity that traps us in this material world, the false identity of associating ourselves with the body, our name and our fame and things like that. So Shanti, the Tyaga has Shanti. Shanti is peace, being able to center oneself in peace and in an unperturbed manner. Shanti, apaishunam. Pishunata is basically the negative quality of bickering and speaking behind others' backs, gossiping about nonsensical things, and basically trying to find fault in other living beings for no reason. Finding fault, if you are in the position to find fault, makes sense. Say you are in a position of a teacher. Finding fault purely with the intent of solving that fault in the person is not Pishunata. Finding a fault just to ignite pain in the other person is Pishunata. So that's very important. The intent is very important here. So Paishanam, Daya Bhuteshu, so Tyaga Shantira Paishanam, Daya Bhuteshu Aloluptvam Mardavam Hrihi Achapalam. So Daya Bhuteshu would mean compassion to living beings. All living beings, we must extend that to all living beings. So far we have seen Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi, Danam Damascha Yajñascha, Swadhyayah, Tapa Arjavam, Ahimsa Satyam Akrodha, Tyagaha, Shanti, Apaishanam. Daya Bhuteshu is basically compassion to all living beings, and that is also a very essential quality. We can extend it layer by layer. We live in a world where without himsa it's very difficult to process every day. When we say take our vehicle out, our car out, we're obviously crushing quite a few living beings, and we accumulate the karma because of which we'll be stuck here endlessly. So it's better to basically try and reduce that to as far an extent as we can. Of course, it doesn't mean that at this level we get rid of everything directly. We must gradually do that on a regular basis. And the first step is to extend the same compassion that we extend to ourselves and our immediate circle, also to those outside of us, every single living being. And the best thing to start with is to find a nearby Gaushala, which I suggest to most people, and go and volunteer there, donate something there, medicine specifically in kind, so that you know that your donation is going to the patra. That would be very helpful. If you trust said Gaushala, you can do it in other manners as well, but this would be very helpful. So Daya Bhuteshu Aloluptvam. Loluptvam is basically greed and attachment to something, excessive attachment to a desire of something. Loluptvam. Aloluptvam is the absence of that, or the ability to control that. Daya Bhuteshwaroluptam Mardavam. Mriduta. Mriduta is a source word of Mardavam. It means being soft and calm and peaceful with someone. When someone encounters you, the countenance should be very agreeable. And your mannerisms, our mannerisms and behavior should be very agreeable. So Mardavam. And softness. That of course does not mean being, say, soft from inside and getting affected by what everyone says to us. It is basically externally being a soft and kind person, internally being very strong and also having the sort of qualities that are necessary to progress spiritually, not being soft in the sense that you're soft all around, right? So Mardavam Hrihi. Hrihi is basically the ability to feel shame. It's very important, even from a scientific perspective. It is why humans have evolved this much. Most animals lack the concept of shame or have it in smaller degrees. Humans have that, which prevent us from doing things that destroy our ability to progress both materially and spiritually. A spiritual person has a higher degree of this, which is why spiritual people not only tend to progress spiritually, but they also progress materially in many ways, health-wise, mental health-wise, physical health-wise, and even in other aspects of their life, interpersonal relationships. That's because they have the ability to feel shame and compassion for other living beings, right? So, achapalam, chapalata is the negative quality. Achapalam is the absence of that. So chapalata is basically fickleness, fickle-mindedness, not being able to center oneself in one task. We all have this to a certain degree. We basically jump around from task to task and from desire to desire. So chapalata is the absence of that. And also chapalata is basically, it has a meaning of basically doing things that are cringeworthy, that basically have no sort of purpose, both in your spiritual advancement as well as harmful to your health. It's just basically useless things and gossip. Achapalam is the absence of that. Tejaha kshama. So tejaha is the quality of effulgence, which we will develop. If we develop the other qualities, one can perceive that effulgence on one's persona as well. It's nothing to do with complexion. It's purely to do with the effulgence that one emanates when in a room. Certain devotees can sense that effulgence. We certainly see that in certain sages and very great devotees. So tejaha. Kshama is basically compassion, a very powerful virtue, very important. Tejaha kshama. Dhritihi is determination. Shaucham. Determination obviously is absolutely important in any pursuit. Shaucham is the principle of cleanliness, absolutely important. There are several levels of this. The first level is physical cleanliness. If not maintained, the other two levels are impossible to attain, almost impossible. Unless, of course, you are you have reached an extremely high level, for example, Jada Bharata. Unless you've reached that level, physical cleanliness is the bare minimum, and Bharatiyas were very good at this 1,000 years back. We have degraded very much in the last few centuries, so we must bring that back, else developing cleanliness internally would be a mountainous task. It would be extremely difficult to attain. So physical cleanliness is very important, not just our own homes and our own body, but also our cities, our streets, our environment should be very clean. So Shaucham then extends to the mind. Our mind should be clean. Of course, this is an ongoing process. The mind is constantly bombarded with thoughts from every direction. It's important to be able to, work on that continuously. Shaucham through chanting, through fasting, through meditation, through vrata, dana, japa, dhyana, homa, and tapa. Basically, so that would be very important. Kshama, dhritihi, shaucham, adroha. Adroha is again related to arjavam, straightforwardness and avoiding deceit. Basically, droha is deceit. Droha is betrayal of someone. So, a devotee and a divine person, when they gain the trust of someone, they maintain it, they make sure they do not step back on those words. So adroha, very important, non-betrayal of trust. Na atimanita. Atimanita is thinking too much of oneself, and that is a huge impediment. First of all, on a spiritual level, a huge impediment. On a material level as well, if you think too much of yourself, you can never scout for new opportunities. You can never, bend down, because only when you bend down can you see the right kind of opportunities, and when you can actually find them. So if you think too much of yourself, if we think too much of ourselves, it would be very difficult, even in the material world. We are making impediments even for others. We create a sense of troublesome interaction wherever we go. Everyone has to be careful of us because we think too much of ourselves. So that is a quality to reduce in. Anyways, this body is just made of a cluster of molecules and a couple of different interactions inside. So thinking too much of this body is basically foolishness. So bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. So one who is born under the daivi qualities has these qualities. Others, it is implied, can develop such qualities. Again, now there are the very problematic qualities as well, which we can of course go through. Dambho darpo abhimanascha krodha parushyameva ajnanam jabhijatasya so partha sampadam asurim, which is a very powerful verse. We see this around us every day. We see this within ourselves as well, right? So dambha is basically a sense of very strong arrogance, dambha, and a sense of haughtiness. Darpa is basically again the same, but if you think of the word darpana, right, it's basically narcissistic self-obsessiveness. So darpa, abhimana is again very similar, but it is very similar to atimanita. You want others to respect you. You believe that others must respect you. Every one of us has a little bit of this, which we call self-respect. It is okay at the level of self-preservation that we must not let other living beings trample upon us, of course, unless we are at that level. When we are operating in the material world, does not mean we offer ourselves as doormats to everyone. However, at a deeper spiritual sense, one must surrender. That's very important, and one must not think too much of oneself. Very important. Krodha is again anger. This is a quality that demons have, and there is a demon within every one of us deep down, which we must destroy. And with the help of the Shastras, we can do that with the help of Jnana. Parushyam is harshness. Often the people who have these other qualities, Dambha, Darpa, Abhimana and Krodha, they tend to also be very harsh to others. Parushya. Their speech is harsh, their countenance is harsh, and you can see that right within themselves. Ajnanam is the lack of knowledge. Obviously, if you have all of these qualities, the way the verse is structured is beautiful. If you lack if you have the previous qualities, you will have the succeeding ones. If you have dambha, you will eventually become very self-obsessed, and then you will expect others to respect that. If they don't respect that, you will get anger, krodha, and with anger you will put it out in the form of parushya. You'll make others feel very hurt, and from there this quality would lead to further ajnana, and the cycle keeps continuing, right? And then of course, dambho darpo abhimanascha krodha parushyameva ajnanam jabhijatasya partha sampadam asurim. Then Lord Shri Krishna says, Daivi sampad vimokshaya nibandhaya asuri mata. So this Daivi sampad will help you disentangle yourself from the material world, whereas the asuri qualities, the asuri sampad, would entangle you further with the material world. Very straightforward. Most of you here have read the scriptures, so it's very simple to understand, but practicing these in our lives would be really, really helpful. And that's one takeaway. I keep reminding myself of these verses, keep chanting it on a regular basis, so I can, they talk about affirmations. So when you keep chanting the Gita, that's an affirmation in a sense, especially these verses. And yes, if anyone has any questions, you may ask me now. At the end, sure, all right. So I'd also been requested to speak a little bit about Vedanga Jyotisha as such, and its connection to the Gita. So anyone here who's interested in understanding Jyotisha, Jyotisha's primary purpose, I'll just mention it briefly, is, we have all heard of karma, right? The law of karma. It's very simple, and everyone in the Sanatana Dharma tradition knows about karma, including Jainism, Buddhism and Sikhism. There is a concept of action and consequence, not limited to direct consequence. For example, if I say move this table, the table shall move, for example. Or if I hit a person, that person shall feel pain. That's a basic consequence. Our Shastras say there is one thing beyond that. That pain that you gave to another person has to rebound back to you. or the happiness that you spread outside must come back in some manner. So that is basically karma, but this is theoretical. Where do we see the practical pramana of this? In the material world, it's very hard to find a way. No science can tell you that, no science can validate the principle of karma except Jyotisha. So the purpose of Jyotisha is to show us that karma is actually happening, it is working. Else, how would you be able to predict something that happens in the future before it happens, right? So there are planetary cycles. Karma is basically a contract. As simple as maybe lifting the Bhagavad Gita and just keeping it down here would also be a simple karma. Just moving this table is also a karma. It has a consequence and it has a reaction. There are bigger karmas that have more larger seismic reactions. For example, say killing someone, or especially hurting someone, or helping someone, saving someone's life. These are larger karmas, and these are basically contracts. Think of them as having a start date and an expiry date, and at that expiry date you get the phala of that karma. They are timed. These contracts do not have immediate effects. Most of these contracts, they fructify in the next birth. Most of these contracts do not fructify in this birth. You have to be very lucky if you are able to experience the results of your karma right there, then and there, right? So most of these karmas are in the next birth, and that is what we call prarabdha. So there are three types of karmas overall. One is sanchita. Sanchita is the karma we accumulate over several innumerable births. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjana tanyaham veda sarvani natvam vetha parantapa. That's what Shri Krishna says. So it's a very beautiful verse where he says, "O Arjuna, me and you have gone through innumerable births and incarnations. You know none of those. You do not know of those, but I do." He says. That's amazing, because all those innumerable births we have gone through, we do not know what we have done in each of those, but we have accumulated a lot of karma. That is basically sanchita karma. And a part of that is taken out of the bag. Think of it as a big, repository of karma. Part of that is taken out and dedicated for this birth. That is prarabdha. That cannot be changed. That part determines your body, jati, ayu, and bhoga. Te jatyayur bhogaha. So klesha mulaha karmashayah Drishtadrishta janma vedaniyah, Patanjali Mahamuni says. So, klesha mulaha karmashayah, the root of all difficulty, is the ashaya of karma, the collection, the repository of karma, and that is known as sanchita. It's huge, massive, right? And sanchita karma cannot be destroyed, except you can destroy it by doing, certain activities as suggested by the Shastras. And you can also destroy it by ultimately realizing the self. The moment you realize the self, the load of sanchita karma is destroyed. And the pramana for this is in Bhagavad Pada, Adi Shankaracharya's Tattva Bodha. And from that point onwards, it's called agami karma. But the prarabdha cannot be changed. The prarabdha is that which determines this body and the base genetic principles of this body. Which country you're born in, which family you're born in, which species you're born in. Think of it, right? People talk about free will, which is a very interesting concept. According to our Shastras, in my humble knowledge, there is nothing such as free will on the bodily and mindly level, on the mental level. Everything that we do is somehow controlled by our environment, by the place that we are born in, by the people that surround us, which is again determined by a lot of other things. Free will only exists at the stage of Atman. So we are all trying to access that stage. Until then, we are tied. That person who thinks they are the doer is basically a fool, as the Gita says, right? So there exists no free will at the stage of the body and the mind. It's all an illusion. Only at the stage of the Atman, true free will exists. Everything else is a basically illusory free will. I wouldn't call it false. My Paramacharya, Kanchi Shankaracharya, has suggested that the world is somewhat of a mirage. It is not a complete falsified existence. It is not asat. It is rather a mirage. It exists and doesn't exist at the same time. Somewhat of a mithya, basically. So, prarabdha determines your jati. Jati here means birth. Birth can be in different sorts of species. For example, you cannot expect an ant, a jiva who's born as an ant, to have the same sort of experiences as a jiva who's born as a human, right? So there's a huge difference. You cannot give a motivational talk to that ant and say rise up, because it's born as an ant, right? And similarly, a human being is born in different situations, right? Certain human beings are born in very troublesome families, right? It's very hard for them to rise up from there. Some of them do, again, because of their prarabdhas. Their buddhi is also determined by their prarabdha. Buddhi is also determined by the prarabdha to a large extent. It's a very little part that can be controlled, and that too by spiritual practices. Else, most of it, if you want to look at this from a scientific angle, there's the book called The Selfish Gene. It's very interesting, purely scientific, and it speaks about a theory of how Maya basically controls us. Essentially, our genetic makeup controls us throughout our life. We think we are making the decisions right here, but it is actually Maya which is making it for us. So yantra rudhani maya, Lord Sri Krishna says, you're just placed on this machine and it's constantly moving, and you think you're the doer, but essentially you're not. And modern science, as we go deeper into it, actually kind of echoes this idea. It's Maya which is controlling us. We think we are the doer. So that's an interesting thing. So Jyotisha shows us that prarabdha, and that can be experienced jati, ayu, bhoga. There are two other forms that prarabdha determines. Even one's lifespan is determined by the prarabdha. The experiences, most of the experiences in this birth are also determined by prarabdha. Say, for example, a sickness, a disease, etc. are also determined by prarabdha. One cannot change many things from there. Now, there might be a question. Say, if I have a genetic makeup of, say, for example, cancer, right? And there's a very strong likelihood of cancer, and I work to prevent it. The very fact that you worked to prevent it is because you had the knowledge about it, which means you came across that knowledge. Your environment helped you there. You're born in such a family that allowed you education to understand the concept of preventing cancer. And finally, you found the right kind of medical advice and doctors to be able to prevent it. So all of these factors aligned, and plus you had the buddhi to be able to do that in the first place and avoid carcinogenic things. You had the dhriti to continue on that path. Most of these things are influenced by the prarabdha. Then, of course, we accumulate more action in this lifetime. And finally, if you think of it, it's like a continuously revolving machine. The only way to get out of this is to realize the self. And on a more physical level, on a more worldly level, there is free will. Of course, that does not mean we must just retire and just let the world around us happen, because we have the prarabdha. We might have a positive prarabdha, so keep looking in an optimistic manner and trying your best to change things, because who knows, your destiny might have an option for you to change things. That's also part of your destiny at the end of the day. So Jyotisha's ultimate purpose is to prove karma to a devotee on a highest level, on the absolute level. On intermediate levels, Jyotisha helps us understand how we can navigate the world. Jyotisha is not equal to destiny. Your chart or your horoscope does not reveal your destiny entirely. It's just a blurred layer on top of your destiny which helps you trace the most likely path. It is not your destiny. Anyone who says that your horoscope, they can read your chart and tell you your past, present and future entirely are wrong. They can only give you clues about your past, present and the future, which implies the existence of underlying destiny, but is not that. At least we mortals cannot access that part of Jyotisha. So that is a very interesting thing. And Jyotisha can be used as a diagnostic tool in our lives. We can use it to optimize some of these qualities. For example, the positive and negative qualities we were discussing. We can use Jyotisha to optimize the positives and to minimize the negatives. So that's another interesting use of Jyotisha, even for a devotee. You would see that monks and sages in the ancient times who completely gave up the world did not give up Jyotisha, because they were still using it. As long as the body and the mind are there, you can use Jyotisha in some way even for your spiritual progress. Jain Munis are a very good example. Even after renouncing the world entirely and not even having clothes, they still imparted the knowledge of Jyotisha to others and utilized it in their lifetimes, and have written very beautiful texts on Jyotisha as well. Similarly, Munis in the Vedic tradition too. So yes, that would be an introduction to the philosophy behind Jyotisha, but it's quite deep, and I think we're probably running out of time, so if you could ask any questions, that would be nice. Yeah. Yes,
You
Ji.
said that everything is predefined and we can't really change anything. But let's say we are going through some not so good things in our life. So what should be our motivation to get through that?
Excellent, excellent. So the two ways of looking at the principle of destiny. You can repeat the question. Oh, sure. Yeah. So the question is basically that how do we, go through the difficulties of life if we keep in the mind, if we keep in our mind that something such as destiny exists. So if something such as destiny exists, there are two ways you can take it. One is a pessimistic way, right? The most common way when you look at the concept of destiny, which is suggested by most sciences, material and spiritual, to a large extent. So when you look at the concept of destiny, the first thing that someone who is situated in the other modes, like the Rajas and Tamas modes, might think is, well, very pessimistic outlook, that everything is decided, I cannot change anything, let me just let the negative things happen, right? That's a very defeatist worldview. There's the other side of things, which personally I espouse, which is basically a very optimistic way of looking at it. No one truly knows destiny. So what if destiny holds the best for me? And what if destiny has in store for me that I will experience something very positive, and that I will come out of the different difficulties in life? Why not do the best things possible to optimize the possibility of reaching that? Because no one truly knows it, right? So if you know your destiny, that would be difficult. No one truly knows it, not even astrologers. We just get clues, and the clues just make it more optimistic for us to go through. The clues are more exciting. In a game with clues is much more fun to go through than a game with just absolute questions and answers. So similarly, Jyotisha gives you those clues, it gives you those directions here and there. Where are you supposed to take a left or a right? And it just makes everything more helpful and more exciting. Unless, of course, you take a pessimistic worldview, which it will be troublesome. Just keep in mind that no one truly knows destiny, only Bhagwan knows it. So why not think that Bhagwan has the best in view for me? So let me do what is recommended, and let me enact the best actions possible to reach that. Yeah. In between, of course, if our karma dictates something else will happen. But we keep optimizing. That's our dharma: self-preservation and growth. Keep optimizing. Ji. Yeah, please.
If there are some bad things in our destiny, which will happen.
Yes, Ji.
And for good things, they will not uncover if we don't put our efforts.
On a very fundamental level, yes. Like for example, I personally study Advaita Vedanta, but I definitely use the Dvaita philosophy for my regular life and everything else. So when you look at the highest absolute principle, there is no difference between, say, that table and the book here, and say there is no absolute difference between good and bad. But that doesn't mean we live life like that. We cannot say, that the water that comes from the sewage is equal to the water that comes from the purifier at home, right? Essentially, if you go to the very absolute level, the atoms that make up that dirty water are the same that make up the clean water here, and essentially there is no difference. The way they align, the way the molecules basically are dense or associated with other molecules, that's a completely different thing. But at a fundamental level, it's all basically one. There's one substratum, right? But we cannot live life that way. There is a distinction here, which is why it's called a mirage, which is why Maya is not called false. It's called a mirage. It exists, at the same time it doesn't exist. The dirty water does exist. It is dirty, right? But at the same time, it is not really dirty, because at the ultimate level, it is only dirty to us in this physical manifestation. If you drink that water, your body is going to be affected because you're bound by the body and the mind. There are millions upon millions of life forms that are living within that water with no trouble whatsoever. You are going to be affected if you consume that water. So similarly, in the material world, we must act based on the bounds of the body and the mind. So here we have been given a body and the mind. It's very rigid. So there is right and wrong, there is good and bad, and similarly there is free will at this level. So free will is also paradoxical. Free will exists and does not exist at the same time. Just like good exists and bad exists, but also does not exist at the same time. So it's very important to keep in mind that we do have free will, Ichha Shakti, and act in that manner. Because that's why Lord Sri Krishna in the first few chapters talks about the importance of karma. As you go to the last chapter, he talks about the other side of things, which is yantra rudhani maya, essentially. It's interesting, yeah. Yes, please, Ji.
You tell us something about your education and your guru.
Thank you, Ji. Sure. So I began studying the Gita at the age of 6, as I mentioned, Bhagavad Gita, and following memorizing the Gita at the age of 7, I presented the entire Gita memorized to Jagadguru, the Sringeri Jagadguru, Bharati Tirtha Mahaswami Bhagavad Pada. And from then on, I studied Sanskritam because that's the next natural step. I completed my Sahitya studies in Sanskrit, literature studies. I speak Sanskritam as well, and I try to speak wherever I can. It's a very beautiful language, so I studied that. From there, I studied Jyotisha because the next classroom had Jyotisha by Bhagwan's grace, so I was like, this might be interesting, and studied Jyotisha. When I was 11 years old, I was introduced to Jyotisha, and I read all the important Shastras because by Bhagwan's grace I had Sanskrit knowledge, so I could combine that with Jyotisha, and I studied that for 4 years under my guru Surya Narayana Bhatta and others as well, at an institute in a very course-like manner, right? For example, the classes would be on Sundays, you would have assignments, you would finish the basics, etc. And I studied basics for about 3.5-4 years. I completed a diploma level study in Jyotisha. So that would give you the foundations, the principles to work with, arithmetic that you need. But that's not enough. If you really want to study Jyotisha, you must go through rigorous Swadhyaya and self-study. Fortunately for me, by Bhagwan's grace, I had an intense obsession with history and historic cycles. So because of that obsession with history, since the age of 4, I used to read magazines and try to understand the past. So hundreds upon hundreds of magazines I used to read, and about, you might have heard of Tell Me Why, for example, and Curiosity, that, basically books that told me about history, especially wars and why they happened, why were there periods of peace and prosperity in between, right? That was the basic question. So that led me to do intense studies in Jyotisha. I studied the Brihat Parashara Hora, Brihat Samhita, Brihat Jataka, Saravali, Phaladipika, so on. Since Sanskrit was there, it was even helpful to understand them. And at the age of 14, when I completed my practice in basic Jyotisha, I began to look into these charts on a massive scale. There were no models at that time that were helpful for this sort of study in Jyotisha, and nor was I cognizant of say technology. So I began to study it on my own, astrological models, basically creating charts for different events and studying them one by one. So that helped me make a prediction in 2019 August. Those of you who haven't heard of the mechanism behind the prediction, I've talked about it in recent talks. But in 2019 August, that's where my life changed personally, because I was just sitting in front of the great Arunachala hill in Tiruvannamalai, and it's a very powerful, very spiritual place. It's Sakshat Bhagavan Shiva, and I was just looking through the Panchanga, as a morning routine. Any Jyotishi is supposed to just take a look at where the grahas are placed in the morning. And suddenly I noticed that starting August, September, October, November, especially November, there is a very unique position of the grahas. They're all coming together in one part of the zodiac. So I had goosebumps because this was very unique. Mathematically speaking, something like this had not happened in 800 years. So I was sure that something big is going to happen in 2020, starting November 2019. Wasn't sure what it was, just was sure it's going to be explosive, massive. And the last time it happened was 1206. Genghis Khan swept half the globe, destroyed many things and people. So I hypothesized that there is a likelihood of a major cataclysm. It could be either a world war or a massive pandemic that will kill millions of people and would also create an economic reset. There would be a recession and there would be certain other mundane effects. I made a video on YouTube professing to my predictions, and obviously as the events started to unfold, it went viral, and that helped me gain more curiosity in Jyotisha. And from there I started to study other aspects as well. I'm still studying, it's an eternal field, so absolutely, yeah. I see some questions here as well. If we do have the time, I can answer. Yeah. So how do you see the position of Bharatavarsha and Dharma in the upcoming years as per Jyotisha? That's an interesting question. I see, if we speak about Dharma particularly, I see that getting better. But again, this is a complex definition. Dharma is deeply personal to a large extent. It is the evolution of the soul and the principles that are required to take you forward in that direction. Dharma also means righteousness. If you're talking about the first one, for each jiva that is a little bit different, but if the environment is helpful, then dharma propagates easier. So yes, to answer this question, dharma is going to be better in the upcoming 20 years, especially in Bharatavarsha. People would follow it in a more proper manner. If dharma means righteousness in this context, yes, people will be more righteous in these 20 years in Bharatavarsha, median average, but because of the different things happening in the world, there'll be a lot of adharma as well, right? So Bharatavarsha itself, if you're talking about political growth, yes, there will be major political growth. We will expand, the whole world borders are going to change, and our country will also expand its borders, not just within our subcontinent, but even outside of our subcontinent. We'll have more spheres of influence. There'll be more Indian interventions in these 20 years around the globe. We'll have different outposts as well. Some interesting things are going to happen. I'm pretty sure about that. It might seem a bit weird an idea at this point of time, but it's very much likely. We're a country that is not self-reliant in terms of energy. Either we have to find an alternative source of energy, or we have to find places that have such energy. So political basis, it's going to be explosive growth, but it's also going to cause a lot of violence, which is natural and unfortunate. And the fortunate part is millions of people will come out of poverty, so that's good. Hundreds of millions, not just millions. That's a very good thing. And secondly, some scholars claim that only mathematical Jyotish is true, which tells astronomical positions of planets, not Phalita Jyotisha to individuals based on birth. What is your view on this? So mathematical Jyotisha is the solid foundation of predictive Jyotisha. Without precise mathematical combinations that tell you the astronomical positions, you cannot make predictions. Some people talk of the Surya Siddhanta. My humble opinion on that is that it is an excellent treatise for logic and theory, but it has a simplified formula to be able to approximate the positions of grahas at a future given moment. Unfortunately, the grahas do not exactly follow a formulaic pathway because of gravity and everything else. They wobble a little bit, and over thousands of years that is going to make a difference. So Surya Siddhanta's calculated positions are different from the actual positions of the grahas as visible. So mathematical foundations should be rooted in Drik Siddhanta. The logic can be that of Surya Siddhanta, in my very humble opinion, and Phalita Jyotisha is nothing without the foundation of Ganita. So that is my view on this, my humble view. Question 3, how can we see the development of technological innovations, for example, the Industrial Revolution and the AI revolution as per Jyotisha? Excellent question. Well, I'll answer this very briefly. It's a very extensive topic, and I've spoken about it in other discussions as well on YouTube, which those of you interested may watch. And well, here the Industrial Revolution is a constant thing that happens. It has accelerated ever since the 1200s. With the printing press in the 1400s, and thereon with the invention of the stock market in 1603 Amsterdam, and thereon other major scientific innovations 1800s and the 1900s, and now we are here. So it's an ongoing process, but in Jyotisha we see that it actually suddenly there is a spurt during certain moments. One of those moments generally align with the Guru Shani Yutis, right? So for example, let me give an example. 1940s and 1920s, the rapid increase in automobile technology. In fact, 1880s, which is a great conjunction. 1920 also communism came up. So every time there is a Guru Shani Yuti, there is a very interesting thing that happens. You'd see humanity itself changing. You'd see people's ideologies changing. You'd see explosive new movements. You'd see new ideas. Some of them will be good, some of them will be bad, but they'll be big. 1920, for example, communism was born in a political format. Karl Marx spoke about it quite some time before, but the idea was that it started in an explosive way in 1920. The first communist country was established as well, the USSR. The CCP was founded in 1920, which led to the Chinese Civil War around 1949, eventually making China a communist country, and then the state capitalist system. So basically, big ideas start in great conjunctions. 1940, massive world war takes place. Ideologies clash. There is on one side Nazism, fascism, and Japanese imperialism that clashes with the global view of, say, Western imperialism and certain sense of democracy, etc. Huge clash of ideas. Two powers collide, and the world changes. 1960, semiconductors explode. There is so much technology in that space that comes about. 1980s, especially around 1980, the internet as an idea, ARPANET, etc. is developed. Massive outburst of human innovation. 2000s, again, the dot-com era, as you all know, massive outburst in internet outreach, and actually the internet that was developed in 1980s within certain institutional environments actually was uncontained into the world. It spread out everywhere, the dot-com revolution, right? 2020s, now we are 2020, AI and blockchain and stuff like that. So we're in for a very interesting time. We cannot say good or bad, but big for sure. That's very clear. So each of these time frames, you cannot really say whether they were good or bad. It depends on your perspective. You can say automobiles as a revolution was good. You can also say it results in more than 500,000 deaths annually because of high-speed vehicles, which would not happen if we were still sticking to horses. There's also a Aparapaksha which would say that the human evolution itself would have been derailed if not for automobiles. So everything has everything you could assign a positive and negative effect to it. So now we are at this level. The next one, 2040, is going to be agricultural innovation, because around 2040 there is a likelihood of a famine and a massive food security issue, because of which humans will have to innovate, expand, do something to just simply survive. So I see something of that sort in 2040. I hope I'm proven wrong though. And that will be my answer to that question. Neha ji has asked here, Mataji has asked, how do we understand this statement that we are living in the material world, so we cannot let others treat us as doormats, but at the same time we should surrender. If someone is not treating us right in the material world, or maybe a devotee only, then we should tolerate, as at a deeper level nothing can happen in our lives without the consent of Krishna, or should we take a stand for ourselves and teach them a lesson? Well, that's a very interesting question. It's something that's within everyone's minds. We just don't ask it, but thanks for asking. In my humble opinion, there is a way to deal with things in the material world. Let's give the example of a Kshatriya Raja. He has been given the mandate, the dharma, by his people to protect them. It's his responsibility. And holding such a responsibility, he cannot surrender to every other king who comes his way and give up his kingdom, right? Do whatever you want with these people. These people basically gave you power and you have to take care of them. It's your dharma. Similarly, it is your dharma to protect your family and your people, because they depend on you, right? So if you're a mother of children, it's your dharma to protect those children. You cannot let anyone come and trample on your family. Similarly, you have the dharma of self-preservation, right? That is a very important dharma. Not for sense gratification, but as a dharma, self-preservation. If someone is coming in between that, trying to harm you, trying to affect you emotionally, physically, mentally, you have the right to stay away from them, to detach from them, to not get affected by them. But if that's not possible, you must fight back if that's at a very deeper level. But trying to take revenge on someone is essentially sense gratification. You're trying to experience the feeling of revenge. That is wrong. So that would lead to problems in your spiritual evolution. We all feel that, we all feel that in our minds. We must control that, and that should be avoided. If that answers your question, Ji. So, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, that pronounced to you too. As per astrology, considering the current global disturbances, is there a possibility of a world war? If so, what might be the position of India? Interesting question indeed. Well, global disturbances are accelerating since 2020. You can compare this to 1935, Italy invaded Ethiopia. 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. 1937, Japan invaded Manchuria, committed the genocide of the Nanking massacre. And 2023, there are massive attacks and killings in the Middle East. And 2025, there is a Darfur genocide in Sudan that takes place, killing hundreds of thousands of people. People don't even speak about it because no one cares about the Africans, essentially. That's the truth. That's an unfortunate situation, but this is happening in the background, and one day that karma will have to be paid by the Middle East, because the Middle East that's sponsoring problems there. So that's all going to happen. If you read about it, it's pretty terrifying. It's good that we pray for those people there in Sudan. Then 1937, 2023, 2024, now 2025, 1939. 1939, Hitler took over the eastern parts of Europe as well as launched a surprise attack on the West. September 1939. Boom, that's 2025. The Middle East is totally exploding. 1940, we're basically tracing the same path. So if you go, but the good news is, let me just briefly explain a simple thing. 1914 to 1974, a very interesting time frame, right? We look at Bharaspatya cycles. Bharaspatya cycles are Jovian cycles based on Guru. I won't go into the mathematical details here. Prabhuji can explain that later on as well. I can also explain that if someone is interested. Basically, it's a 60-year cycle. The last time such a cycle started, 1914 to 1974, 60 years, right? 1974 to approximately 2033, another 60 years. If you look at it, all the major wars that took place with massive casualties happened between 1914 and 74. 1914 to 18, World War I. 1917 in between, the Spanish flu, eradicated millions. 1929, the Great Depression. Starting 1934, actually World War II began. Western historians count it as 1939 because in their worldview, they wanted to say that it was the Axis powers that started it, whereas actually started in 1934 itself, again Italy, but it was earlier. So basically that war took place, massive genocides, 37, etc. 1940 World War was in full swing. More millions died. 1950, the Korean War took place. 1960s, Vietnam War reached its peak in 1968 with the Tet Offensive. And 1970s, 1973, we had the Arab oil crisis. So all of this resulted in massive human casualties. 1974, that ends. Starting 1974, we entered a new 60-year cycle. Can you think of any major conflicts at that scale after that? Very tough to find one. Iraq, you can think of it, but not too much. Not even close to the scale of the previous ones, Korean, Vietnam, etc. Last 60 years have been very peaceful. We look at the media every day, we think something terrible is going to happen. We shouldn't be so afraid because this 60-year cycle is not meant for that level of violence. I would be surprised if, and the only and last to date atomic explosions have taken place in that 60-year period. After that, despite the world holding so many nuclear weapons, after 1974, not a single country has detonated on a civilian population. Can you imagine how much restraint it requires to do that? The world is still, we still have hope for the world. There's so much, there were so many instances when it could have happened during the Cold War. People were expecting World War III to take place since 1970s. They've been expecting it, they've been making predictions. It doesn't happen because, of course, we are humans, we fear something, that anxiety leads us to expect something massive to happen. It will not. Let's hope it does not. Till 2033, we are safe to an extent at that scale. But after 2033, we enter into uncharted territory. There is a good possibility that something like that might start again. That would be my answer. What is the difference between prarabdha and sanchita karma? Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Are both karma subject to diminish with practice of spirituality and self-realization? Sanchita karma can. Prarabdha, as per our scriptures, cannot, unless there is some special divine mercy that Lord Shri Krishna wants to get rid of, because he's all powerful, he can do that. But otherwise, prarabdha karma is like, they give an analogy of Shiva's bana. So the banavat, you cannot stop it once it is in motion. Very simple. So prarabdha is already here. The body that we have today, the genetic things we come with, we can't change a lot of it. So that determines like 80 to 90% of our life. So we cannot change that. No one can change that. But we can change the sanchita karma. With spirituality and ultimately with self-realization, sanchita karma is totally annulled. So there is that. How is the choice of right and wrong related to free will if it is not available at a mental level? True free will is not available in the purest sense of free will, but on a material level, as we said, the distinction between good and bad exists on a material level. The ability to exercise free will also exists on a material level, but it's paradoxical. That's the only thing. None of us can understand this, as Lord Shri Krishna says, Gahana karmano gatihi. The way karma operates is very difficult to understand. Even the devas cannot understand it, let alone us. It's that deep and paradoxical. So it is said that in spiritual life we get reactions very immediately for all the offenses and misdoings. So those reactions are already predestined in our life, or our life path gets changed. Doing offenses and suffering, those reactions also predestined. Again, this would be paradoxical. Yes, to an extent. If you look at what Lord Shri Krishna says in the Gita 16th chapter, we talk of it in gunas that we can develop. Lord Shri Krishna says, don't worry Arjuna, you are born with the Daivi qualities. There are people who are born with Dambha, Darpa, Abhimana, Krodha. He doesn't say, oh Arjuna, develop these qualities in the same verse. That is something that we must understand separately. But Lord Shri Krishna basically is implying that these qualities are also ingrained in the seed form. They are present. You can change them, they are present. So yes, to a large extent you could say, but then that is not a good excuse at all, of course. So not at all a good excuse indeed. Yeah, that would be just like applying the Vedantic principle of oneness and saying that, I did not commit a crime, everything is one. Right? So I did not defraud that person, his money and my money are the same. Right? So that would be very, very silly. But Vedanta does say that there is no difference between his and yours, but it also says ma gradaha kasya svidhanam, right? So on the material plane you have to follow these rules. It says that there is no difference between gold and a piece of wood. So you cannot go to someone's house, steal their gold and replace it with wood and say, Prabhuji, there is no difference between gold and wood. I'll have the gold, you keep the wood, right? So the material world, you have to have those distinctions. So again, other devotees who have studied all the scriptures, I have not studied all the scriptures, who have studied everything in detail, can explain this to you even better. This is just my understanding of things. So how do grahas act for devotees? The prarabdha karma acts equally for everyone, which is why we see even devotees suffering in different aspects of their lives, and some very terrible people enjoying material freedom in many ways, right? It's because of prarabdha karmas. But the Phaladipika and other scriptures say that the graha effect is not equal to destiny. It's very important to keep in mind. It's one of the factors, not equated to destiny entirely. It's not a one-to-one equation, right? So grahas act differently for people who lead a very sattvic and positive life. Their effect is different. Does not mean you're changing destiny there. And that effect changing is also part of destiny. Grahas and their effects are different for a person who speaks the truth, for a person who does scriptural pariharas, etc. If you did not do that, your life would be entirely different. If you did not know what you're doing now, if I did not enter the Gita, and if I was not introduced to it, and if I did not pursue that, my life probably would have been very, very different. So similarly for everyone, grahas do act differently for devotees. Return of kings or monarchy in Bharata. There is an interesting thing. The whole concept of monarchy is based on concentration of power and dissipation of power. In Jyotisha, we can measure the concentration and dissipation of power. We cannot directly say that there's going to be a king or there's going to be a parliamentary democracy. Concentration and dissipation, right? Currently, if you think of the 1970s in India and 1980s, it was technically a democracy, but the concentration of power was so absolute that it was worse than, say, a king operating, right, for example. And in certain monarchies, the concentration of power is more towards the people, right? So it's very different. So whenever Guru and Shani come very close to each other in mega cycles, 220-year cycles, concentration of power increases and decreases. So when it starts to go away, then power spreads between the people. When it starts to come together, power increases in one particular knot, right? So, well, I do not see monarchy itself coming back to Bharata. Very surprised if that happens. But there's going to be dissipation of power and concentration over a cyclical basis. And there will be very powerful people who will come up after 2040 who will lead the country because then there is a conjunction. So, yeah. Powerful people who will call themselves, Democrats, but then it's going to be concentrated. So, Dhanyavad ji, Dandavad Pranams, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for a wonderful lecture. Yes, indeed. All of that is part of Prarabdha to a large extent. It is your choice, again, it is very paradoxical. It is your choice, but it's also part of Prarabdha. It is your choice. Your choice is itself part of your Prarabdha. Yeah, exactly. Same answer to this question as well. Same answer. Yes, that is it. Sure. Dhanyavad, Jai Shri Krishna. Any other questions from anyone here? Sure, yes, Prabhuji.
Is it possible to code all the yogis in the program?
We can do a large majority of it. We can do it. So there are like 8 pillars which I have been working on directly from the scriptures: Ishta, Kashta, Phala, proximity, polarity, how polarized the grahas are with respect to one another, the Shadbala system, Vimshopaka Bala system. If you put all of this together, you initially give it an equal weightage, right? Because you don't know which factor is more important than the other. There are very few indications in the scriptures as to is Ashtaka Varga important or is Shadbala important, right? So since we don't know, or is Bhavabala important, since we don't know exactly how much weightage to give to each feature, to each vector, you give an equal weightage to everything and then you test it using a model, and maybe the supervised model gives you certain results and tells you which one had a stronger impact. But data integrity is very important here. There is some data you can collect from Astro Data Bank. Again, we do not know how accurate that is, but we can start with things that we are sure about: earthquakes and seismic disasters and natural disasters. We can work on it. You can code it, in fact. And we are working on it at the moment. We're working on a project called Pragnya AI, which is deep research into this, basically the logic at this stage. Ji. Sure. Yes, Prabhuji.
Is there a Varna or nature can be predicted by Varna or nature can be predicted by astrological charts, and also, like, let's say someone is a businessman, why there are like a good businessman and why there are like people who are just taking so much of loan and then
destroying it. Yeah, well, essentially, the world is like this. If you take a lot of loans and ultimately succeed, then the world would say that the loans you took and the risks you took were bold and that made you successful, and they'll praise you for that, right? And if you take those loans, for example, and you failed because of other factors that were out of your control, the very same world would tell you that those decisions you took were the reason why you failed. Of course, there are mistakes that people make, but essentially the world decides what is good or bad based on the outcome, not based on the intent or the action. that's the way we see things. So that way, good and bad will be very different. But yes, the Jataka can tell you where you're heading, right? If your Jataka shows that risk taking is bad and you're essentially progressing in the wrong direction. Yesterday in our Jyotish class, I was explaining how you calculate that. So it's a very simple way. But if you understand the basics of Jyotisha, it's easy to understand that. So you can know whether the person is taking risks and going in the wrong direction. At least a clue you can get. Yeah.
Like about our nature, like do we have Brahmanical qualities or?
Yes, the Varna. Yes, I personally adopt the opinion from the Shastras where Varna is purely a qualification based on your actions, not based on your birth. Your birth and the type of family that you're born in may have an impact, but again, I personally do not believe in the notion of caste as such. But Varna, yes, the qualifications of a person based on the families that they're born in, based on the own actions that they take, you can change your Varna, is my humble opinion. And it's also supported by certain scriptures. I'll not go into that today. But so yes, as far as Varna is concerned, the Jataka does show which Varna you're most likely to follow in this lifetime. So they can be like you can assign a specific percentage to it actually. Like this percentage is going to be Brahmana, and during different timing cycles you might be a different person as well. You're not the same person throughout life. In a certain period you might be very spiritual and very giving, and then suddenly something happens in your life and that changes and you become very defensive and protective of things. And suddenly in life you find opportunities very enticing, and suddenly in life you just want to serve others, right? In any which way possible. You just want to give up your own ambitions. You can be 4 different people, different times. Yeah.
I have a
yes,
question.
Yeah, sure.
I have a question regarding career guidance for youngsters. Often individuals feel passionate about one field, but Jyotisha may indicate a different career path aligned with their natural tendencies.
Yeah.
In such situations where there is a confusion between personal interest and astrological guidance, how one make the right decision? Also, how can Jyotisha practically help in resolving this confusion so that a person can move forward with clarity and focus, considering that career uncertainty is one of the biggest challenges faced today?
That's a very good question. Most of the time, the interests of a person and their astrological positions would align, like, their talents and their interests would align. Even if it does not align initially, eventually they will turn around and they'll go there. There are many examples of this. People who started off with something else and then later on found success in an entirely different field, right? So that's a possibility. When you look at your Jataka or someone else's Jataka and you see potential in a particular field, it's best for them to trace that path, basically. Even if they don't trace that path, they will somehow come to that path, and you can also see that. You can see the switch, the movement. Again, all of these are going to be clues. And the interpretation of Jyotisha is you're basically assigning Karakattvas to Grahas and extrapolating the logic. So there is a logical jump there, and that jump can go wrong. So you're most likely going to be right if you follow most axioms, but you can go wrong. So it's important not to be very deterministic about this and say that, yeah, this person is going to be a management consultant, right? Now, when you look at the chart is going to tell you if they'll have leadership capabilities and if they're intelligent in interpersonal relationships and communication, right? Now, you can piece that together and you can see to what extent they can go up in life and then say, okay, this person is likely to do well in management. But if you make it too rigid, that's where the problem comes about.
Is it related to Prarabdha also?
It is related to Prarabdha, essentially. You carry those, those imprints from the previous birth, which you translate into this life form of action. It happens. That's why we have musical prodigies and other fields, where they're really, really good at certain things. We believe it comes from the Prarabdha karma. Yes. Any other questions? Good. Dhanyavad. Jai Shri Krishna. Pranams.